Hey people, I'm back. I had issues with that last power supply like I thought I did, so I had to go and get another power supply. Alright, regardless, we're back and we're back in action. I kind of set the machine up too while, I took that pause. I basically ran the wires the way they're supposed to be. And then, the ATX cable and everything is plugged up. I had to get a different, like I said, power supply. But now I'm going to show you about the case wires like I was saying before. Now these wires are really what they would call like the front panel connector or something to that effect. But this is really the wires that control the case, power supply, but reset button, your power button, and your hard drive lights and so on. Alright. On these wires, some of them are 2, 3, and 4, like connector type heads and whatnot. Sometimes when you're basically trying to set up one of these, you got a problem sometimes. Like sometimes the pins aren't lined up correctly, meaning like sometimes you see this one here has the positive and negative towards the outside of the cable. Okay, so sometimes you might have to move the positive wire over sometimes. The way you do it basically is there's these little black things underneath here, the gold thing here. I don't know the terminology for it, but I use a flossing tool basically, and what I do is lift up, you go underneath it and you lift up the black tab and then you pull the wire out. All in once. You have to hold it and then pull up the black tab and then actually pull the wire out and move it over to accordingly to the pin settings. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. But basically I just wanted to show you that. I did all the setup to these wires beforehand because I had to actually move the power LED light and the power one over one notch, because these were 3s, and like I said, you get them in 2s, which is cool. When you can just plug them right in. Sometimes you get it in 3 and 4, and sometimes when they're in 3 and 4 type heads like this, you have to kind of move the wire over one slot. And like I said again, you need something real fine to do it, so a flossing tool is real cool to do that with. Alright, so now like I was saying, you need basically the schematic or a magnifying glass to actually know where the wires go on the pins down here. Okay, I have one already plugged in, but this is where we're going to plug all of them in. You really need to know where it is on your own motherboard too. So you basically, like I said in the last video, you go online and look up the motherboard's manual off their website. Alright, so now let me show you what I'm talking about with the pins. Now I looked it up and there it is on my laptop. Alright, so in all actuality, this is what it looks like. And when you're looking at it, if you notice, some of them say positive and negative, positive and then the positive. Positive means that's where the colored cable should be, and of course we know that the black wire is always negative. But if you notice, all of them have a positive and a negative. So basically, just remember that, because you have to put those wires in that format, in positive and negative. And as you see, you have a schematic that will show you exactly how the pins are set up and where 1 and 2 start, and so on and so forth. Alright, so like I said, this is a brief tutorial. So I just wanted to show you how you go about knowing where your pin settings are. So you see I have my laptop down there, and I can see where the pin's supposed to go on the front panel connector. Okay, so you just look at it, look at your wires. Basically, look at your schematic and know what's positive and what's negative. So the speaker wire would be the positive. Go to the top, aim towards 1 and 2. So we put those on. And what I'm going to do is, like, I put all the ones on in the back first because they're much more easier to do like that instead of trying to put the ones on in the front, because you can't see them, you know. So I got a problem with my vision. I don't know about you, but sometimes some small things are a little bit of a problem. So basically I put all of them in the back first, and then I work my way to the front wires and whatnot, which would be, my last ones would be the reset switch and the hard drive, the LED light. So just remember the positive and negative and where it goes. So this would be pin 1 and 3. So it would be at the top, and the positive starts at the top. And then the reset switch is the opposite. So the positive is at the bottom, which would be the white wire. And then the black wire, of course, is the negative wire. So always just remember, the wires don't have to necessarily be red and white. I mean red and black. It could be white and black, or green and black, or whatever color it is. Alright, so now let's move on. So yeah, the positive is at the bottom, and this would be pin 5 and 7. So 3, 5, and 7, right next to the other. Alright. Now the case is all put together, and actually it should power up. I can actually put a plug in it and should be able to press the button and it would come on. Let's give that a try. Maybe I can move the machine around a little bit so that you can see what I mean. So now let's plug in the power source. Now that I got all the wires plugged in, I just want to test the case just to make sure I got it right. Hopefully this will work. I tried this off the video and noticed that I had bad power source. So let's try it now. Alright, cross your fingers. Let's see these fans start. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now that we know that, just turn the machine right back off. Great. Great. So now we have power to the motherboard. Alright, that's the end of that tutorial for now. That's how I plugged in the wires for the power, for the case. And we'll move on to the next video. Alright.